Hello, I'm Scott Bogey here with Nate Richardson ahead of his fight against Lorram Esteves for the baddest motherfucker in title. How you doing today?
Thanks for having me.
And how are you feeling ahead of this upcoming fight?
Excited. Excited for the opportunity. Like I said, this is the third time we have been matched up. The first two,
Yep,
him and his promoter, they turned me down. So I was surprised he was in the tournament, and now we get the opportunity to see what he's all about.
exactly. And how was the semi-final matchup when you did get that decision victory against Gabriel Macario? How did you feel like that fight went?
To be honest, I was not happy with my last performance of losing my last fight. So that my last fight against Gabriel was something I was just more determined and focused to deal with because I know he's a black belt as well.
Yeah,
And the mindset going to that was just to see the data information he's going to present. But then he tried to strike with me something. I just figure once I rocked him one time, I said, "Don't rush the process. Just keep putting the jab in his face." And we pretty much beat him with just a lead hand the whole fight, basically.
exactly. And you have been at the top of the featherweight division for as long as I can remember. You've won that belt, you fought for that belt. I know the last time was against Michael Aspwell. Unfortunately, you weren't able to get the victory. However, how does it feel to be at the top of the Fury featherweight division, which is stacked from head to toe?
Um, like I said, it's been fine, but that's not my main goal, basically.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, I'm running into a situation where a lot of people in the division are turning fights down with me, so it's been a little difficult to get opponents because I either get a young guy who said I got too much experience
yeah,
or older veteran like my upcoming opponent tell me it might be difficult to take me down, so that's not a good matchup they want. So they avoid me on that part. So it's been a struggle. So I figure after I take care of this one, toss my name out there that if anybody in the UFC need a dance partner, I'm more than happy to give them a work. Just let me know.
exactly. And you definitely deserve that opportunity. Is there anyone currently in that featherweight division in the UFC that you are either wanting to fight in the future or currently want to make the fight with now?
To be honest, I'm just looking forward to get the opportunity because if I get the opportunity, I mean, it's a new level of competition I got to
Yeah,
deal with, and it's a more place I got to start putting my mindset on what I need to do to accomplish and get through the top of the division that's going to be ahead of me. But until then, I'm focused on making sure I take care of whoever they're putting Fury putting for me, and just keep moving forward until I get that recognition, that call, that recognition to compete against some of the best in the world.
and do you feel like one of the reasons for you accepting to be part of this tournament was because, like you were saying, you're struggling to get matchups that they can't run now. Either you get drawn against it, they have to fight you next.
That's like I said, that's always been the point. I think I've been the number one featherweight since I took care of Diego. So I just been waiting for whoever everybody say they're about that work until they find somebody who's truly about that work.
Yeah.
Then they go silence on things. So for me, it's just pretty much making sure I'm in the best mindset and shape to deal with the situation I got ahead of me coming up in 2 weeks. So 25 minutes. We'll see if it go that far. But we got some game plans to deal with the upcoming obstacle that he's going to present. So it's going to be a fun matchup for the fans.
And you did fight twice in 2024. What are you looking for, as long as it all goes healthy and opponents are willing to fight you? What are you looking for in 2025?
If the opponent are willing to fight me, I like to stay busy, especially if I'm not hurt or injured. I
Yeah,
really like to stay busy. It's just when I get the opportunity to stay busy and nobody actually want to give me that work, that I got to do the waiting game or seeing who goes through 3 weak people before they decide, oh, you should face me next.
yeah. And you have also experienced other organizations. I do know you did fight in LFA and you've also fought in Legacy. How does Fury FC compare to like an LFA? Because I've heard good things from both organizations.
Yep, they're both good organization. Fury is a local based Texas organization which try to give the guys then from there a good opportunity, a good representation. So it's always good to have that kind of promotion around. LFA Legacy, they merged, so it's been quite a rise seeing the growth between them, and Fury is just one of the newest promotion that's making that wave and putting dangerous fighter into the UFC basically. So it's just that, and I've been blessed to be able to compete for both, and seeing the guys that have competed in LFA and Fury in the division. Some of them are in the UFC, so I'm
Yeah.
just looking to keep working and get my turn to get my opportunity to shine.
And do you feel like with Fury, they do a good job at developing their own talent through their amateur series? They do make that process a lot easier for fighters.
They do. They make a very major impact on the young fighters developing their talents and making sure they get the opportunity to be seen, and then to develop them through the pro part as well. So that's great to have an organization base, especially a strong base resume that they can help you grow as well. So it's a good opportunity, basically, if you're a young fighter and you're trying to stay as hungry as possible and you want to stay busy, they'll give the opportunity for you to see what you got, and if you can handle that work, the sky's the limit for you. You just got to keep putting the grind in every single day.
And obviously, the fight against Michael Aswell didn't go your way. He did go to the Contender Series. He's now back in the Fury. Is that a fight that you're wanting to try and get that rematch against to try and prove that you are the better fighter?
To be honest, the only thing that is one of the fight I would not mind running back, because if I have to be honest with you, in my honest opinion, after that eye poke, because I told the ref several times I couldn't see, and can I get my eyes wiped? Can I get doctor check? I was told no, and it was my fault because he said you look ready, and he asked me, "Are you ready?" And I made a mistake of saying yes and continuing when I knew I couldn't see, and that's on me. So that's one of the things that motivated me to keep work twice as hard and come back with a comeback. So if I path do cross, I'm not down for it. But please understand, you want to get away from me once. If you beat me by decision, luck was on your side. If I beat you by decision, I will finish it next time. So if our path do cross again, I wish him nothing but the best. But I'm trying to take out whoever stands in my way. So if that option do present itself again, please understand you're not going to see the same fight you got last time. I just need a little bit of information and data, and I will deal with you. Same way I got plans to deal with my upcoming opponent. I just need him to give me little information I'm looking for, and I'll break him down. And like I said, everybody's good. Till I eventually start touching them and finding what I want, and they'll give me what I want eventually.
Exactly. Like people say, I can beat you 9 times out of 10. That was just the one time that you are able to get that victory.
But like I said, nothing. I would take nothing from his victory.
Yeah.
He deserved what he got. I'm just saying, if our path do cross again, it's gonna be a different story.
And with other fighter, when you do get like a fall against you, like a low blow or like an eye poke, do you try to, is there a part where you do feel like you are pressured to rush it back? Like you're saying, you did think it was in that fight. You did see it that just last week at in the UFC. Adesanya got that fall against him. He then says he's ready. 30 seconds later, fight's over with.
And yes, there is, and this is why like I said, we got a lot of things going on. So our brains, as a fighter, we do not want the fight to be stopped. That
Yeah.
I think for me, that's why I had my last fight. I'd be like, crap, if they end this fight because of that, mean all the hard work I just put in, I'm gonna have to wait again. So the mindset is not clearly thinking on a certain direction because you're only focused on the purpose you got to do or the job you're focused on. So it is. That's why sometimes it's great to have somebody to remind you. You got 5 minutes. Take your time. Make sure you're ready. And it's great if you get reminded that once in a while because, like I said, since that accident, me going to this fight, I got some information I gotta ask commission. Do would I get if I do get eye poke does happen or something like that happen? Will I get reassurance would be to know that I got up to 5 minutes to get ready. And if I still go with a doctor check, or am I allowed to wipe my eyes just to make so it's just
Yep.
certain things I want to make sure I go over that I don't repeat the same incident I had with as well. But other than that, like I said, it just when you're in the moment, your brain is not focused on anything else but the job you got to do. So it helps getting a reminder.
And do you feel like Adesanya's reaction to that loss, where he's thumping the ground and that, do you think that's more the frustration of he should have took that time to try to get that stuff ready instead of the fact that he lost the fight? It was that he should have took that time to resettle himself before going straight back in.
Like I said, everybody's different. I can't say for sure what he should have done.
Yeah,
Only he can make that judgment yet. But I'm pretty sure if he had to turn to a rewind time and redo it, he would have did it a little bit differently. But like I said, everybody's different. But at the same time, you don't want to take you don't want to take the victory from your opponent because of a decision you made.
yeah.
At the end of the day, they just got something. But I know back in your mind, you're saying if I do get that opportunity again to face that, I promise that same way it happened, it will not happen again. The outcome they got, it'll be a lot different when they meet me again. So that's just the mentality. But other than that, I said take nothing for anybody and just keep working your way because your path, the way you're going, you will eventually meet them again. Then you can prove exactly why you are who you say you are.
And am I correct in saying that you currently train under the cellular gym?
Yes, sir. It is something I'm still working on because as far as I am, the cellar has been an amazing place to try and grow. I just feel at the point now I'm trying to get more challenges, like more difficulty things. So I've been just looking around different gyms to see where I can get some opportunities for people that can give me a little more threat. Because unfortunately for me, I'm the kind of person that I don't want to be comfortable.
Yeah.
When when I started, I was in the top 15 in my gym. Then eventually worked to the top 10. Now I'm in the top five. So it's cool. We're not better than each other. We're just a little bit good one place. I like to start hunting again. I don't want to be that person who is, oh, you're better than me. I need to work to get to your level, get a little closer. So
Yeah.
that's an option I'm gonna check out this summer just to see, get some different look, different view, different skill level, and match people who are can keep up with me and give me challenges for me to grow. So I'm looking forward to that. But the Cellar Gym is an amazing place, and I'm so grateful I got the opportunity to actually be a part of it.
So I'm guessing you're just going to go round the country, just have 1 week in maybe American Top Team, the next week in this gym, just to see what everyone has to offer.
Something like that. But for right now, I do got a gym that I'm thinking about going to, and that's one in Chicago. The one with Juliana Pena and what's
Yeah.
his name, trainer. So it's something my manager has been talking. He's actually go check it out. But at the same time, I'm gonna still be home in Minnesota training at the academy with some of the guys in there because they give me some decent look and they give me a little bit of problem that I'm still working on improving things at. But other than that, my goal is just to constantly keep developing my game and being the best me I can be. And for that to happen, you don't do nothing in your comfort zone. You got to be uncomfortable at a time. And I'm looking forward to being uncomfortable.
And what do you feel like has been the biggest improvement since that last fight for your game?
The biggest improvement, like I said, just making sure my mind is right because I had a lot of personal other things going on when I had that loss. So I had to make sure I took a step back and make sure I take care of all the things and get my mind right and get back to what I need to do. Because no matter what we do, your mind is your biggest weapon, depending on where you're in, and you're playing the game of it's either kill or be killed. So you want to make sure you come with all common sense. And the one thing from that loss is set me back. And one thing I say, I know how to bounce back after a certain loss or defeat and come back a lot better. So we learn to be a little bit more patient, not to rush to the scenario. And a great part is when I rock, not rock, but when I have what's my last opponent stumble from the jab. If you notice, we didn't jump on him like
Yeah.
most people would just jump. We took our time. We just kept picking apart, taking our time. And one thing I even would give him credit for, he didn't even bite on certain things I wanted to set him up for because I know he was more of a brawler mentality. So I give him option to be on the hip, but he was a little bit more cautious not to fall into the trap. And he protected his body well. So I was impressed. I was frustrated, but I was impressed. I was like, huh, okay. So we just went back to the base and just kept putting the jab in his face, hoping he'll open up from the adventure that eventually give him something to put him away. That's I say that my major mindset was I was upset. I wasn't happy with my performance because I didn't finish him. I want to finish whoever I face. I don't want you to have a doubt why I beat you. I want you to know that I beat
Yeah.
you. Either I put you to sleep or I finish you. So he survived that. So in my mind, that was kind of a loss to me because I'm like, yes, I dominated you the whole 3 rounds. Cool, but I didn't finish you. So I'm not really happy. I'm on everything just like you would say. You're your biggest critic, and in my head, I'm always gonna be my bigger critic. Everything a fan's gonna tell me or things I already know, I have told myself these a lot of times before I even got started. So before you think you can doubt, I have doubted myself more. I have given myself bad. Oh, you can't do it. We have told ourselves that all the time. We're our own biggest critic. But at the end of the day, we always step in and ready to take care of business. So regardless how I go, I'm looking forward to being in my opponent home state, Texas, where he's at. I
Yeah.
know the crowd's gonna be there. I don't mind going to enemy territory. I don't fight at home. God, I haven't fought at home in a long time. So I'm always the outsider coming into somebody territory, and it's not a pressure on me. I just got to perform the way I know I perform.
And did you have to prepare yourself just the first time when you were going into that enemy territory? And have you just suddenly it's been getting used to it?
To be honest with you, I say before even the MMA scenes, because I did compete for Team USA Kickboxing, I said the biggest opportunity I had to go or into inventory was me fighting in Serbia in enemy back in a small
Yeah.
town with 14,000 Serbs of his fans. So I had nothing there. And going to that situation, understanding that this is the pressure I say I'm about, you gotta go through certain things. And so that was the biggest moment knowing that you got 1,014 people from a small town supporting one person and it's just you. So me going to somebody else's backyard, it's not a problem. It's just something you learn to deal with. So long you got faith and trust in yourself and you got a good mindset, you can go into what you do and just it's you, God's in your corner, and sometimes that's all you kind of need. Just you.
And if I was to say to you, you can go in to this fight and get whatever knockout you're wanting, what are you choosing?
If I It's weird because I always call this out, and I'll even call this. He might defend it, whatever. I know what his best weapon is to beat me. He's gonna have to get me to the cage and take me down. I'm gonna play this out. He's gonna have to get me to the cage and execute his takedown. This is where I see his success of succeeding at. And I would say, if I'm facing you, this is my mindset. If I was you, how would I best beat me? And I'll go through the contemplation on the best strategy is. And if I say you're not gonna win standing up with me, so that's a no. That percentage is low for you. So for him, his highest percentage is he has to take this to the ground. So with that knowledge, I always work what I know you're gonna do. That way I'm not surprised when I meet you. But realistically, how I feel like I'm gonna finish this fight, either I'm gonna finish him with a body shot, or we're gonna drop him with just a left hook. But eventually we'll break him out of respect for him. I see this going to the either he gets stopped in the middle of the third round or I finish him in the fourth, but it's not going all decision.
And how is it having to go into those championship rounds, round four and five? How much extra training do you need?
To be honest, is my coach would say this is um I condition a lot. I do not
Yeah.
skip on conditioning. Like one thing I always tell people is I might not be as blessed with the talent you have or the coaches you got, but when it comes to work, that is 50-50. If you beat me because I got tired, that's my fault. I can't blame you for that. So I'm always conditioned. One thing I have learned about myself is I get better as the round goes on. Most people fade. And from what I've seen from him is he starts strong, but he fades.
Yeah,
I might start slow, not as you, but I continue rising. I can keep the same pace going for as long as possible. So I 25-minute title fights are not a problem for me. It's something I thrive in. The only time I say I don't thrive, I have to go 3 round fights and I got to go a lot faster and make calculation a lot quicker. With 25 minutes, we got time, and I like to take my time to figure out the best way to deal with you, and that's from what you show me, what you do, and how I'm gonna have to break you down properly to deal with it.
exactly. And in the UFC, in your division, the featherweight title, it is held currently by Ilia Topuria. He has got two options. There have been rumors that he's going to be fighting Volkanovski next for that belt. However, that started to fade a little bit, and is now Islam going to come in. What are you wanting to see, and how do you see both those matchups come faring for Ilya?
Like I said, it's good. Ela is a very smart and imposing fighter. He's good on the ground. He's good on the feet. And one thing about him, he keep a pressure base with a good mentality on. As much as I hate to say, he knows what he has to do to your body. A lot of people slack off on using the jab. The jab is a fundamental. It's a basic fundamental. If you can use it, you can break people down. If you know what you're doing, you can go in and outs. Just be aware of kicks, takedowns, and Ilya got both. Like I said, the fight with Islam is the fight. I know he wants a lot more because he already proven what he can do against Volkanovski, and Volkanovski wants
Yeah.
something back to redeem himself. But Ilya, I feel he wants challenges. He wants to prove that I am who I say I am, and I know your guy Islam is the guy, but I know I can handle him. So it's that chip on his shoulder, and he's a smart fighter. He's a very good fighter. He work with some great people, and his mentality is that. So either fight's gonna be good, but I think the fight we most likely want to see because we haven't seen it yet is the Islam fight.
Well, I don't know about you, but I want to see him face Nate Richardson.
That would be a good matchup one day, but same thing. I got to
Yeah,
get there. Until I
yeah,
get there, I got to make sure I take care of whoever keeps coming my way, and that would be starting on the 21st against my upcoming opponent. So that I'm looking forward to the opportunity he present and the threats he get. I get excited from difficult problems. So I'm hoping he bring a difficult problem and not the puzzle I got in my head already. Because the puzzle I got in my head already, he's gonna do what he can the first 2 rounds. I'm gonna start picking things a little bit more, making sure he slows down. And as he starts to fade, you're gonna see him crash eventually. But that's just how I see my mindset. But I'm looking forward for him to prove me wrong. But there's a reason why he and his team turned me down twice. If
yeah,
you don't get what you want, and I know what he wants, is to take me down. If he doesn't get that, I need to see how his mentality is, if it stays the same way I touch him a couple of times. Because everybody is good until I touch them. And once I touch you, I'm not trying to knock you out, but I'm trying to get in your head. And one of the things everybody knows is I got a good jab. But the problem is I'm not really trying to hit you with too much with my jab. It's just when I throw it, it touch you, it recognizes I can put you out with it regardless. But the jab is just a leading weapon to set up the rest of what I need to do with it. So I'm going. I'm looking forward to the chess match that he presented an opportunity. With all respect to him, I'm just looking for the best opportunity to give me a challenge, a good
yeah,
challenge, and he looks like the next good one. So we'll see.
exactly. And I know coming the 21st, you're going to prove to him and his team why he did reject you twice. Is there anything you're wanting to add or anyone you're wanting to shout out?
I just shout out to all the people that are helping me get ready, especially the guys from the academy. John Castaneda, who got a fight coming up March 1st. Quang Lee. So just some of the guys now who just constantly just give me some situation, some look. So, but other than that, the work is slowly coming together. The pieces coming together. The only thing we got to make sure we keep taking care of, staying on top of, making sure our weight is on point. We don't make a hard cut and let the fans enjoy the show that we plan on putting on. But same thing I'm gonna say, the way he did his last opponent, I will not be doing none of that. We will not be trying to out grapple you. I don't have nothing to prove in my grappling situation. The only thing I got to make sure I prove is making sure I can beat you like I know I want to beat you. There's no
Exactly.
disrespect. It's just facts.
Exactly. I know you'll do fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed the opportunity.